Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today is Friday, which means we got another Dungeons and Dragons description video. And well, of course, that means that today we are going to be talking about the Divine Prankster. Somewhere there. No, I'm just messing with you. I know that was kind of a crappy little prank, but that's really what the Divine Pranksters are about. They prank. They do a lot of practical jokes. Not crappy ones like the one I did. I mean, that was terrible. But no, they play like actually good practical jokes. I'm just not really a comedian. So yeah. But anyway, so the Divine Prankster. Basically, they are just obsessed with Garl Glittergold to just a crazy point. They're all clerics of Garl Glittergold. If I could say that, such a tongue twister. Garl Glittergold. There we go. All right, so yeah, they're all clerics of his, and they just really believe in this prankster god to like a crazy extent. They're like all about, we need to prank people. We need to prank people. Prank, 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 prank. Like that's just all they're about is lots of pranks. So yeah, but basically, to get in there, the best way to do it is actually to multi-class with cleric, of course, Garl Glittergold, and bard. That's like the best way to do it. So what you actually need is first you need to be a gnome. So if you're another race, sorry. Next. You need bluff 8 ranks, perform comedy 8 ranks, and sleight of hand 8 ranks. Now, most of those are stuff that you would get as a bard. All those skills, bluff. I mean, those are all, those are all bard ones. So maybe you want to get those bardic ones out of the way real quick, and then jump into cleric later. That might be a good way to do it. I'd recommend 5 levels of each personally. 5 levels of each might be a good way to go. Although I guess you don't really need that many. Definitely if you got to go 5 bard. And you got to be able to cast 2nd level divine spells. So to do that, you're looking at at least 3 levels of cleric. So that's not a ton. You don't have to go all the way to 5, but it might not be bad to get those 3rd level spells. And special, you got to be a worshiper of Garl Glittergold. So that's really all you need. Not that much. So really you could do it with 5 levels of bard, 3 of cleric. You could probably even do like 3 and 3 in all honesty. Maybe 3 and 4. But yeah, so you could do that. I still recommend 5 and 5. I just think that'd be the best way. If you guys got different opinions on that, I'd love to hear what you have to say down below. I mean, I'm not like the authority on this or anything. I know the rules pretty good. I can read the books. I can understand them. So, and I'm so familiar with these texts. I haven't read every single class yet. I'm working on it, and I read them all before I do these videos. So, and I understand them pretty easy. But anyway, so they don't get any weapon or armor. Not many do. Spells per day and spells known. How that works is an interesting one. It's similar to how a lot of classes do it. Basically, since you're probably going to be both bard and cleric, you get to choose. Okay, am I going to get? I get a spell per day and a spell known, as if I'd gained a casting level. But you got to choose. Do you want to do it bard or cleric each level? So you can go, I'm going to do it just all bard. Or you can be like, I'm going to do it all cleric. Or you can be like, you know what, I'm going to do this level bard, then the next cleric, then the next bard, then the next cleric. Or you can go like, I'll do 2 bard, then 1 cleric, or however you want to do it, really. It's really up to you. But each time you take a level, you have to decide, am I going to do a bard or a cleric? Or if you got other casting, if you didn't do bard cleric, I mean, there's so many different ways you can do it. Bard cleric's just kind of the more common way to go about things. But there's definitely, you don't have to be common, especially if you're an advanced player like I am, and if you've been playing like for years and you know the rules inside and out, then yeah, I'm sure you can come up with some crazy ways to do these things. They also get what's known as comedic performance, which is kind of like the Bard song, the Bard's performing, bardic music, but I think it's bardic music is what it's called, but it's really not always music with them. But anyways, it's basically like that, but it's with comedy. So they get inspired courage, which is actually something the Bard gets also, and if they have inspired courage from Bard, I can't remember if Bard gets that by 5th level or not, but if they do have it from Bard, just from regular levels of Bard, they're not going to get it for Bard from doing this or anything, but like if they already had it, or if they take a Bard level and get it, then they will stack and it will make things a little better. Yeah, it functions mostly the same. Then they get enrage enemies, which is a weird one. Basically, they can basically send a number of enemies into a rage, and those enemies in a rage have to make melee attacks against the Divine Prankster. Now, of course, they get saves and all that fun stuff. But the weird thing about this is they have to make melee attacks against the Divine Prankster, who's not very strong and not that good against melee attacks. But still, not every character, they can choose who they're going to hit with it. And, some characters aren't very good using melee attacks. Like, hey, let's hit the wizard or the ranger with melee attacks. Theirs aren't going to be so good. Well, the rangers will be all right probably, but the wizard's melee attacks are probably going to be terrible, depending on the wizard. I've definitely made a few casters who were just absolute crap in combat. So they might not be good. But the weird thing is they get -4 to defense, which is okay. You just hit an enemy with a mind-altering ability that's going to hurt them. But at the same time, they get I think a +2 to attack and damage against you. So you hit them with this, and then they hit you harder. So that's not good. But basically, and like Turn Undead, it ends if somebody attacks them. Although, I believe with Turn Undead, it's only if you attack them, if your allies don't. But this one, it worked with allies too. So, basically, if you're going to try and do it, go for a one-shot. Just hit them out of nowhere, really hard. And, yeah, or just kind of, maybe use it on somebody who can't hit you in melee. They're somewhere where they can't get to you. So, you can always go that route. Or you could, maybe they're far away and they can't get to you in one turn. Maybe hit them with it and, end it before they actually get to you and be like, okay, now I'm sorry. And, they'll end the rage. I believe you can do that. Then they also get what's known as a killing joke, which is crazy. And it does exactly what it sounds like it does. It takes 3 turns to do it. The first turn, nothing. It sounds just it's just annoying. So nothing happens at all. Round 2, basically, they get a sense motive to try and figure out, hey, wait a second, he's about to kill me with this joke. And basically, they can figure out, hey, I'm in danger, and they can just go la 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 la, or something like that to make it so they can't, hear the joke. Maybe they have something on them where they can just plug their ears, or do something to make it so that they can't hear the joke anymore. Or, maybe they're a caster and want to go the crazy route and go forget language, and all of a sudden they don't know how to speak the same language as them. And that would stop it too, because it only works if you actually speak the same language. That's true with pretty much all of their stuff. And then on turn 3, they just get a will save. If they fail, they die. It's really that simple. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think you have to be 10th level, so if you're going to go 5 and 5, you're a 20th level character by the time you get this. So that's pretty on par for a 20th level character. And maybe you can pull this off at 18th or something, but even then, that's an 18th level character. That's pretty high up. People have 9th level spells by that point. Any pure class will have their 9th level spells by then. Pure caster classes that get 9th level spells, they will definitely have that by that point. At 2nd level, they get what's called Infused Figment, which basically lets them use a Turn Undead attempt in order to make an illusion spell of theirs, which is generally going to be from their Bard spells, way more difficult to detect as fake. Basically, it adds 10 to the DC, which is huge. So, yeah, that's going to really make it a lot harder for those spells to detect. Um, let's see. Then you have they get disguise spell, which basically I don't use this one a whole lot in my own play, but um, basically when a caster goes to cast the spell, they you can use I think it's a spellcraft check to try and figure out what spell they're doing. Based off their hand movements and their verbal components, you can see their somatic and verbal components and tell. So basically, at third level, they can disguise the somatic components, make it look like something else, so that people are like, I don't know what he's doing. And it actually can even make it so that they get the wrong spell too, if they fail by 5 or more. And this adds 5 to the DC. And on top of that, they can also, at I think it's 7th level or something like that, they can do the somatic components as well. Like they can throw their somatic components into a normal conversation. I'd imagine it being like, while they're taunting people, being like just throwing weird somatic components in, the middle of their taunts and doing it that way, which I don't know. I think that'd be kind of a cool way to think about it. Yeah, but that stacks with the other ones, so with the somatic components. So, now all of a sudden we're looking at, the fact that they can, do 10, and it's still, I think it's still 5 or more they have to fail by. I'm sure that doesn't stack to just if they fail or something. I'm pretty sure you still got to fail by 5 or more, but the fact that now all of a sudden it's a plus 10 is going to make that a lot easier for that to happen, and they're going to be guessing your spells wrong all the time. So that's kind of cool. Then they also get this thing called Zigzag. Basically, what it does is it lets you make a bluff check, and you can use that in place of your AC when you're basically whenever you're moving and you get an attack of and you provoke an attack of opportunity. You can only use it when you provoke an attack of opportunity by moving, but you can make a bluff check to basically be like, nope, going this way, nope, going that way. Freak them out, be like, oh shoot, they missed. So, and the way it sounds is you roll. The way it makes it sound is you get whatever's better. So if you roll crap, you just go with your AC. So it's only if you actually roll higher than your AC that it actually works, from the way I'm reading it at least. So, which makes sense. I mean, it's not like, you're going to make it easier to hit you because of the ability. So I'm pretty sure it's only if you actually roll higher. If you roll lower, then you just go with the AC, and it essentially wastes the ability. But hey, you had a chance to get better, so that's pretty cool. That's really all there is to them, other than the fact that, these guys are actually a pretty good one to deal an NPC with, depending on your group. It really just depends on how. I would definitely gauge your group before I let your players actually be a Divine Prankster. Do you have a lot of serious guys in your group that don't do well with comedy and with pranks? If you got that, you might want to say, hey, a guy thinking of being a Divine Prankster, go with something else, because you're going to take off the whole freaking group and ruin the game. So don't do that. Or maybe it's just a fun game. Everybody is having fun and screwing with each other all the time. Then yeah, let them go for it, man. That'll be fun. It'll just add some in-character pranks to all the real-life pranks that are already going on. So yeah, that'll be fun. Go for it. Unless, of course, they're having fun in game, but they want to be serious. Like they're having fun out of game, like in real life, but they want to be serious in game. It still even depends a little on the situation. But honestly, I don't see that one particular scenario coming up a lot. But watch out for it. If it's there, then definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, if you're the DM, definitely keep your group in mind before you let someone be a Divine Prankster. But it does work good for a group. Maybe if you're going into a gnome village, maybe set up some Divine Pranksters to screw with the party, see how they react. Because gnomes don't like people who can't take a joke. If you're serious, then the gnomes will hate you. Yeah. But I guess I think that's really all I have to say about these guys. Definitely, I've got one of these videos coming out every Friday. So, if you're interested in learning, about Dungeons and Dragons and how to play the various characters and like how each aspect works in detail, definitely consider giving me a subscribe, because I'm going to be coming out with one of these videos all the time and help you learn. And I also got a ton of them that I've already done, like all the core are already done. So definitely check that out. All the core races, all the core classes, all the core prestige classes in the DMG. I got all the alignments too. So definitely, if you're interested, give me a subscribe, and it's all right there on the channel too. You can always just click on the channel, Mitch Burns, youtube.com/Mitch Burns, and of course, if you like this video, definitely think about sharing it so your friends can see it too. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. If you guys got anything you want to share about Divine Pranksters, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. I'll definitely look forward to geeking out with you guys down there. But anyways, I'm Mitch, and I'll be seeing you.